Hey, I'm going to tell you a story about my feisty younger daughter. So when she was 4 or 5 years old, I was in the kitchen doing some dishes or something, and she was in the other room playing. And she'd been quiet for a long time. And you know when a little kiddo's been quiet for a long time, they're probably into something. So I went in there to check on her, and she was playing in her little princess tent. And so I popped my head down to look in the window of the princess tent to see what she was up to. And I saw her throw her body over something. And as I took in all this information with my eyes, I saw hair that she was trying to cover that was on the floor. And I saw some scissors sticking out from under her elbow. And I gasped. I went, and I stood up and I collected my thoughts for a split second. Thankfully, I had just recently taken a training as a parent participant in love and logic. And the phrase from the training from the night before was, whose problem is it? Whose problem is it? And I thought to myself, whose problem is this? This is her problem. She just cut her hair. And as upset as I was and as shocked as I was, I collected myself and reminded myself, this is not my problem. So I put on my poker face, locked in the empathy, and knelt down and said, sweetheart, it looks like you've been doing some cutting. Do you want to come out and talk about it? She came out and we talked about it. Meanwhile, I'm taking in, like, she has literally cut her hair down to the scalp, like all over one side of her head. I mean, it was just awful. Poker face, locked in empathy. I'm listening, I'm talking to her, and I said, well, would you like to look in the mirror and see your new haircut? And she said yes. And so I took her into the bathroom and I held her up in the mirror. And I watched her face in the mirror as she was taking in this new haircut that she'd given herself. And it got so sad. And I saw a big old crocodile tear start to come down her cheek. And I said, what's going on, honey? And she said, well, I was trying to look like Rapunzel. Oh, and boy, did I feel that empathy for her. And I let her feel her sadness. Because again, whose problem is it? It's her problem. And I want her to notice and be able to have her own reaction. As soon as we are reacting, as parents or as helping professionals, we make what's going on with our client or our child about us instead of about them. And we want them to feel the impact of their decisions in their own lives while being in that compassionate, empathetic relationship with us, so that we can hold the space and be curious with them about their experience, about their learning, and about their desires, so that they can feel the full impact of that experience. And she has not cut her hair again since that time, right? I let her learn from her experience. And it was super sad for me as a parent to take her to the hairdresser to get her hair just about buzzed off completely. And it is very sad for us as helping professionals to hold space and be witness to some of the really painful decisions and hard decisions that our clients make. But we cannot fix it for them. We cannot get them to get it. And when we have big reactions to it, we make it about us, not them. So that's my story for today.